Hey guys, I'm John.
And I'm Tron.
And in this video, we're going to find out how ace we think this is. Okay guys, so in this video, we're going to be talking about this Xbox One version of Spongebob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Wow, that's a mouthful, isn't it, dude?
Yeah.
So, we saw this when it got released, and we weren't overly interested. It was a SpongeBob game, which is always cool, but then saw it on Amazon, and it was like £12, something like that, for this version. So for that much, we just thought, do you know what, we'll go for it, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we've got it, and this particular release is a remake of the old 2003 PS2 GameCube version of the game. Now, back in the day, I never played the original. I've never actually played a SpongeBob game, to be honest. This was the first one, but we both like SpongeBob, don't we, dude? So we just thought, why not? We'll have a go. It is a remake. It has just had all the visuals enhanced. As it actually says on the cover, it has actually got 4K resolution. Unfortunately, I haven't got Xbox that can output 4K, so I can't tell you what the 4K looks like, but generally the HD looks damn good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they've done a real good polish on it. The gameplay's been improved. The controls are really responsive on it for what's an old game. And also in this release, they have added a online and offline co-op horde mode. So it's just one of them ones where you just fight waves of enemies. Now, this particular horde mode does actually have deleted scenes from the original. So when it was first released, there was some other content that the developers wanted to add into it. They just didn't for some reason. I don't know the full details as to why they didn't, but they didn't. But for this particular release, they've put them all back in, including a fight with a robotic Squidward.
Yeah.
But that is all in the horde mode. Unfortunately, they haven't incorporated it back into the story mode. Now, moving on to the graphics. Like I say, this is at a HD upscale. Now, the graphics on this are really, really good, aren't they?
Yeah.
It is really colourful. Everything pops. The character designs are really good. It is just a feast for your eyes, man. Now, along with everything that's in the game, all the iconic locations are still in there, and everything just looks so good. The hub world that you get looks really good. So you've got Bikini Bottom where you can go around and just have a little wander around. You can go in SpongeBob's house, Squidward's house. You can even go visit the Krusty Krab. Fortunately, can't have a taste of a Krabby Patty because it's overrun, but it's just nice to see these locations and looking like just really, really nice. And I can imagine it's the best that it's looked in a game. Moving on to the audio now. Now, the soundtrack for this is just your standard SpongeBob. It starts the game with the theme song, which is really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it moves on into the game where every area that you visit, so there's a lot of different hub areas, which you'll see, and each one has its own soundtrack. Some of them better than others.
Yeah.
But then, like, you'll just get used to it. It just depends where you go to, where you might have some favourite tunes, you might have some that just grate on you a little bit. Some are a bit repetitive, aren't they? Some of the songs, some of them just keep going on and on. Now, also on the audio front, the voice casting is really good. Everybody seems to have come back and done the voices. Everybody sounds like they should do. Everybody seems to give it effort. It doesn't seem forced. The exceptions to this is that Mr. Krabs doesn't return, which is really, really sad. I love Clancy Brown as an actor, and it just doesn't sound like Mr. Krabs at all, does it, man?
No.
It just sounds wrong. And it's just, oh man, it's just disappointed by it, you know. It's just, if you're going to get everybody back, man. So, Mr. Krabs is an imposter. The voice lines that the characters do, so they repeat quite a few lines, don't they, when they're going through. His favourite is when SpongeBob refers to himself as the Sponginator.
You've just met the Sponginator.
But yeah, it's SpongeBob. You get used to it. It's quite funny. Now the gameplay is just your standard old school platformer, really. There's lots of different variations on levels. So we have like just normal platforming, don't we?
Area fighting?
Yeah, the sort of area fighting where there's like loads of enemies that you just have to face. Then there's some where you have to slide. Now, the sliding's okay, innit?
Yeah, except the timer ones.
Yeah, the timer ones aren't great. Now, the aim of the game is that you have to stop a robot invasion that Plankton has inadvertently unleashed on Bikini Bottom and the surrounding areas. And it's up to you as Spongebob and his friends, Patrick and Sandy, which you do take control of all the different characters. So those 3 characters are playable, aren't they?
Yeah.
We were a little disappointed that the levels choose who you play as. We were hoping that you could sort of
choose your own characters.
Yeah. Bit like how they do in the Lego games, where you get the option of choosing who you want to play as.
Yeah, like you have so many characters.
Yeah. And then it's up to you who you choose. Now, each character has their own strengths, and they all come in useful in games. Now, SpongeBob's your all-rounder. SpongeBob's a bit of everything, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can interact with pretty much everything. So there's a lot of like button presses that you have to do and things like that. And SpongeBob is the guy for all those button presses. He does certainly press those buttons, and he does it well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's the only character, unfortunately, that you can upgrade, which we were a little disappointed by that, weren't we? SpongeBob upgrades, and he gets like a bubble bowl thing where he rolls bubbles, and then he can fire rockets. So he becomes a bit of a ranged character as well, doesn't he? Now, Patrick and Sandy don't seem to have any upgrades. Now, we think this is a bit of a missed opportunity, don't we?
Yeah.
We think that they could have had upgrades as well.
Yeah.
It just seems fair that they don't get left out and everything else, isn't it?
Yeah.
But unfortunately they don't. But they all have their own strengths and that. So Patrick's good because he can pick items up, so you can throw them at enemies or use them for puzzle solving. And Sandy has...
long range?
Yeah, she's long range, so she has a lasso, doesn't she?
Yeah.
But the lasso is really useful.
Yeah, like 2-hit enemies for other people or 1-hit enemies for her.
Yeah, which is really good. So she's really good in combat situations. And she can also use a lasso as a bit of a helicopter, so she can use that for gliding over distances, which is unbelievably useful. Isn't it, man?
Yeah.
Um,
And grapple over places that SpongeBob can't get to. Or
Yeah.
Patrick.
that's it, yeah. So it is good that you get these characters. It's just a shame that you can't upgrade them anymore,
Yeah.
isn't it? Now, the aim of the game is to get all the golden spatulas as well.
Yeah.
Now, we went through and we've got the full game score on this, haven't we? So we managed to achieve the full game score on it. And we haven't played it a lot, but it took us, 4 days?
4 days.
Yeah, which isn't too bad. So it is a very easy game for completion. It is difficult in places for younger audiences, especially when you're trying to go for the 100%. Into
Yeah.
like you said before, with the time trials of the slides, yeah, they're a bit of a nightmare. The worst one has got to be the one with the lobster on it.
Yeah.
So there's a particular area you go to, and you have to do 3 time trials for 3 different people. And the last one, the third one, is just ridiculous, anyone.
Yeah.
So the key is to find shortcuts. You've got to find the shortcuts. It took us a while, didn't it? But we worked it out in the end. But, oh man, that was frustrating, I tell you. So just be prepared for that. But yeah, man, overall it's quite an easy game. It's good, especially playing with family. I enjoyed playing it a lot more playing it with this little man than I would have done playing it on my own. Which is something that we do, don't we? We'll pick games and just sit and go through them together. But we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So as we were doing the game, as we were playing through, we didn't really encounter that many glitches. We had a few. Nothing that was game breaking. We got stuck in a bit of scenery, but after a little bit of jumping around and moving about, we seemed to get free of it, didn't we?
Yeah.
The biggest glitch we found, although it wasn't game breaking, or should I say the biggest glitch that he found was...
I walked down from the Ferris wheel to see where the golden spatula was, since we saw one under the map. I tried to go back up, but the Ferris wheel broke.
Yeah, he broke the Ferris wheel. In a great way. And it looked a lot like this. So guys, to wrap things up on this video here, would we recommend this game? Yeah, man, we would, won't we?
Yeah.
We really enjoyed this game. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was short and sweet. For the price we paid for it, yeah, you can't go wrong with it, man. It was really good. If you like Spongebob, if you like having a bit of fun, like I say, especially playing with your family, it was really good. So yeah. So we recommend Spongebob for you guys out there. So with that, guys, catch you later.